Hey, hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are going to edit this one sample. We'll do several things to it. I'm doing this because this is yesterday we got a new Hydrophone. So it's a microphone that plugs into the H8. It's stereo and it can go into water. So what we did a couple of tests, and we did this one, and this is the Hydrophone placed, just pushed slightly into the soil and then watered with a watering can. So I'll just play the sample as it is. Which is very cool. So a couple of things I'm going to do to this first one here. I'm going to have to pinch and zoom in my fingers, but I'm going to get rid of this high peak here, this one here, and these couple of these ones here. So let's just do that first, shall we? So I'll just zoom in a bit, and I'm going to touch on the top here and just select this area here. We can bring that in a little bit as well, like that. Now you can zoom in even more, of course, to keep some of the actual bits that are okay. I'm just going to go to clipboard here and hit cut, and that's going to get rid of that for us. So let's zoom back in and let's see. Zoom back into the whole sample. I'm just going to whole loop to select it all for a moment, and we're going to zoom in, kind of drag this in here, do it at the end as well. In a sec, I'll do it with my fingers. Get in closer. Okay. Now I could, I suppose, just do it one of these at a time, but I don't think it would make a lot of difference. They're very close together in reality. So let's just do this again with the clipboard, and we'll just cut. And was there any more? I think there might have been. Let's just zoom back in like this. Yeah, there's a couple here we could get rid of. We'll just quickly do these because I've still got. I'm not going to get rid of the original file. The original file will still be there. So cut that, and definitely this one here we can do. That clipboard. So this is a bit more detailed than what I was doing the other night when I did a kind of a tutorial. I did lots of them. Like I said, then you would probably want to spend a little bit more time getting all these little edits proper sorted out. Let's just have a quick look now, and maybe zoom straight back in again. There's an easy way to do this, by the way. Just hold media at the top and it'll select. So let's see what we've got now. I think, yeah, there's a couple more. I want to do this one here. I'll go in closer, because this is, in the end, when you spend a little bit of time doing this, it's going to make your field recording. Let's do that one as well. It's going to make your field recording, you know, it's just going to make it better. Zoom back, actually hold again to zoom. Actually, I can see one here as well that we could probably just cut. Let's open this right out. Again, clipboard and cut. Let's zoom, actually hold media at the top and it will focus it back in. I think that's actually okay. Just listen, see if it sounds all right. That's great. So I am going to now normalize this slightly. So operation normalize. I'm going to normalize it to minus 2 dB. And what we're going to do is like whole loop, so it selects it all, but we could use select and just select it all. And I'm going to apply Brusfri to this first part here, so it takes out any excess noise that we really don't need. So operation, apply effect, external AUV3 plugin, load plugin, and I'm just going to quickly scroll down to find Brusfri, which is down here somewhere. There it is. So Brusfri. First thing I'm going to do is hit preview here. It's going to move this down. And our Brusfri works by letting it play in the silence but holding the little ear function. A Brusfri is a separate app. Obviously, it's by Clevgrand. So let's just press play and hold this little ear here. Okay, so that will have eliminated any excessive noise. And all we need to do now is hit apply. We can close Brusfri and you'll see it's reduced it some more, so we can probably afford to actually normalize this a little bit again to minus 2 dB. And now I don't need this first section, but all my normalization stuff has been applied. Oh, sorry about that. I'll just do this, right? I'm just going to select this first part here, get in a bit closer, and what I'm going to do is, again, just cut that first section off. I'm going to hold media bay so it zooms in, and we have this section at the end, which we also don't need. So I'm going to cut this off. This is just for the basic sample. I'm going to do something else as well. So do this, clipboard, cut, and zoom in on the whole file. So this is the file I'm going to keep for this one. And we'll just need to give it a name. So what I'm going to do is hit media bay here. Now I know that this happens to be, you see, it's track A and B because it was stereo plugged into the Hydrophone is stereo. It's plugged into tracks A and B on the Zoom H8. So I know it's track A and B, so that's going to be there. We're not going to get rid of that yet, so it's non-destructive. I'm going to go to the folder where I want to put it, hit save. I'm just going to call this, for reference, I'll call it HP for hydrophone. So I'll just call it Hyd, HYD, watering can. Okay, and hit save. So now our HYD watering can will be in this, and if we just check it, it's fine. Right, okay, so now we can go back to our other one, and I'm going to select the same, find it down here, did I say it was? Track A and B. There we go. Put that back in, and here it is again. Now this time, what I want to do is the same kind of thing, but I want to put a reverb on it with a long tail. So I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'm going to normalize. I mean, I'm going to make all the necessary edits on this. I'll do a cut here, and when I come back, I'll have the file ready for what I do. I'll apply the Brusfri and stuff like that. Okay, so we're back in a moment when I've edited all this stuff. Okay, so we're back. So I've done the edits that I want to do on this. In fact, there's one quick one we could do here for this large one. We'll get rid of that, shall we? Cut that. Again, I'll just refocus in on the whole thing. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to make this channel slightly louder, but I'm going to use the waveform scaling option. So if you go into menu, go into settings, you'll see here it says waveform scaling, and I have waveform scaling switched on. And what that allows us to do is if we select all with the loop like this, if I pinch in the middle, I can expand both. And then if I pinch either in the top section or the bottom section, I can choose to just select it again. I can choose to expand the left or the right channel. So I can make either or slightly louder or slightly quieter. which is really good. You know, it's a bit, you get a bit more control than you do with the normalizer, and you can control either left or right channels as well. Okay, so again, we'll just focus in, whole media bay. What does this sound like now? Pretty cool. Now, it may be that you've cropped too much off the end here, or maybe it's not long enough for a reverb tail. So we're going to pinch and zoom, and this here is the end. This is the end of your, you know, you can't kind of go any further. This is the end of the file. So if the reverb tail goes over this, it's going to cut off. So we're going to get around this by placing the cursor at the end of the file, or wherever you want. We're going to go to Operation and Insert Space. And we're just going to, because we can always edit this out, we'll just insert another 16 beats. You can not insert loads, but, you know, let's just insert. And that'll give us all this extra space now. The reverb tail has room to breathe if it's too long. Right, so again, we'll go to Operation, Apply Effect, and External AUV3 plugin. And I am going to, of course, use Black Hole for this because it is ideal for that kind of huge spatial reverb. So I've just got to find Eventide. There we go. Eventide, Black Hole. And I like that, let's hit preview and let's play. Very cool. I'm gonna take the highs down a little bit and increase the lows. I want it to be more rumbly type reverb. Let's run the resonance up a little bit and the feedback. I'm going to push the depth of the modulation all the way up and reduce the rate. And then we're going to increase the size. See what happens now. And the mix. Let's just move it out of the way. Let's see. Okay. Now the cool thing is, if we want to apply more effects, we have up to 3 slots in Neon that we can use for the internal effects. So, but I'm happy with that as it is. So I'm just going to hit apply, and you'll see that it's applied that reverb, and you can see the tail quite happily there. But what we can do now, you'll see, because we've applied all that reverb, it's reduced the overall volume. Well, we could use our let's do that, shall we? Let's use waveform scaling. Let's just can select loop. Sometimes it does this. Let's increase this like that. Very cool. And this is the entire thing, so we can probably afford to trim some of this. Just let's listen to what it sounds like. And it ends about there. Now, if, for instance, it didn't and it just slightly cut off, maybe we didn't add enough, we can always do this. We can take our loop point here. I mean, we don't need to do this. We can actually cut this. So let's just cut this and I'll show you. Because we don't need that. By the time it gets to there is no reverb. It's going to be gone. Perfect. But what we could do is we could go to, say, this point here, and if it was slightly cut, very slightly, hit fade and put ease out or ease. This is actually, we could do linear or ease out or ease out with this as well. So let's just do this. Right. Okay. So now we'd have this. Okay, so this is good. What we're going to do is, again, I'm going to go to my media bay. I'm going to go to where I want to store this, which is in this July 13, and I'm going to give it a name. So we can call this, again, I'll call it HDY because it was a hydrophone recording, and watering. Oh, this should be funny. Watering can wet. But I'll put reverb. Watering can reverb. And I want, my OCD tells me I need to have that as a capital C. So watering can reverb, and that's done. Save. So now we've saved that. So what you see, our clip is still on our clipboard. So if we just check down here, we've got our another Hydro watering can reverb. Perfect. Well, what we can do now, excuse me, we stay in this folder. It doesn't matter because now we're just playing with this wave file. What we're going to do is another trick we can use. We could go to clipboard, not clipboard, sorry. Let's just open this. It's easier. We'll go to operation and we'll go to reverse. And now it's reversed this. So let's have a listen to that reversed. Okay, let me just go back to the beginning. And it's a dead cut. That's what we want. But if we wanted some reverb at the end of this, I wouldn't, because it's nice as a reverse, but you do the same thing again. You place the cursor at the end of the file. Just go to operation, insert space, and then any effect you apply over that then is going to be added to the end, so it's cool. In fact, you can just apply any effect to any part, any selection you choose. If you just choose a selection here and apply a delay, it will just delay that section there. So that's very, very cool indeed. Now here's another thing we can do before we go. This was too long before we waited for the fade, so we'll go select that there, clipboard, drag, right, cut. And what we will do this time is what we said. We'll take it right down to about there, and we'll go fade, and this time we'll do a linear fade in and see what happens to our file. Perfect. So it's on loop. So. Awesome. There you go, guys. There was a really quick video just editing that hydrophone sample. I'm going to save this one as well, actually. So we'll go to Midi, and I don't need to choose my folder where I want to put it because it's already selected. Hit save, and I'll just put this, change this to, I made a mistake there, look. Change this to reverse. Reverse watering can reverb, save. Done deal. And now we've got another file in our, there we go, there it is. Awesome. Great. And like I said, if you're a patron, I know a lot of you who watch this probably are a patron. All these samples and another bunch of samples, another full folder samples will be dropped into the Patreon rewards folder extremely soon after I've just added I've got a few more here, these ones here that need to be edited. So, and then I'll drop them in. Awesome stuff, guys. Thanks so much. Neo Audio Editor. It's just my favorite audio editor. I think it's brilliant. I'll put a link in the description below, obviously, for it. Anyway, so much stuff you can do with it. It's epic. Right, guys, brilliant. I'll see you later. Ta-da.